Benefits for federal employees and retirees. Final score in Week 11, I think it's one we all saw coming the whole day. 35-6, Jaguars over the Chargers. A dominant performance by this Jaguars defense today, allowing only 135 yards to the Chargers, 42 rushing yards, 93 passing net yards today. And the Jaguars offense ran for 192 as a team. Dominant effort on the offensive line. Tootin and Etienne shared the wealth. Trevor Lawrence with a touchdown pass and a touchdown rushing today. Etienne with 2 touchdowns on the ground. So the Jaguars, with their easily, I think, their most complete game of this season. They've been searching for something like this all year long, and they got the job done today in a big way. Now they're 6-4.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I thought the Jags were going to win today. And I'm certainly not going to pretend I thought they're going to win in this kind of fashion. Dominant from the opening snap of the football game, JP. I thought if the Jags win, maybe get a big play on special teams, another big return for a touchdown, something like that. We just kind of muck the game up a little bit. But the Jags were dominant from the outset. Phenomenal with the pass rush today. Great. For the most part, in coverage. Didn't allow much on the ground. Obviously, Kamani Vidal goes out, and that did not help the Chargers' cause. On the other side, I thought Trevor Lawrence, with the exception of a couple of throws here and there, which is usually the case, played a pretty good game. The running game was outstanding, and I know Etienne got the 2 touchdowns, but Basil Tootin really jumped off the screen today and ran with great power, great explosiveness, and I just thought, so many different aspects of this team contributed to this. Jacoby Myers had a really nice day catching the football. Some off-schedule guys like Tim Patrick made a big impact on this game. So great to see the Jags performing as well as they did across the board.
At halftime, the Chargers had 100 yards of offense. They had 35 in the second half, and the Jaguars dominated the third quarter. I think they held it for over 13 minutes of the third quarter and essentially iced the game away.
Justin Herbert didn't complete a pass in the second half. Now, he got pulled with 11 minutes to go, but did not complete. He had 81 yards at the half because we remarked on it. If Keenan Allen doesn't make that great diving, fully extended catch, he has 51 yards in the first half. Well, that's what he would have ended up with today because he didn't add anything to that tally. And he did get banged up right at the end of the first half and was a little slow. They had Trey Lance warming up right there if they needed him. And so there's probably a combination of things. Look, you're down so big. You're getting your guy beat up. He gets beat up on a weekly basis. He got nicked up today, and the white flag went up with 11 minutes to go.
So how about the response from the Jaguars as a whole this week? After what happened in the fourth quarter last week, blowing the 19-point lead on the road in Houston in the fourth quarter, a lot of questions were flying around this team outside the building, but inside, apparently they circled the wagons and came out with a fantastic overall response. And give credit to Liam Cohen and the staff, but give credit to the players, too, for following that lead and taking it personal and coming out and performing. I think everybody has a cap tip today because this was a full team effort.
Oh, we say it all the time. At least I say it all the time. No matter anything we say has no bearing on what they do. If they can internalize the mistakes that they've made. And JP played such a clean football game today, practically penalty-free throughout the contest. 1 for 5 yards. Yeah. What team is that? I don't know who that is.
Well, they had one that was, negated because of the roughing the passer. But, hey,
you're always going to have a couple of those, right? There are always a few that get offset, whatever the case may be.
It's the most penalized team in football coming in. Jaguars.
No, look, Trayvon Walker, to me, set the tone for the whole day. That very first snap on defense, he came in unaccosted and got right to Herbert, and it would have been a sack, and Herbert got called for the intentional grounding. So you had the intentional grounding on that. You had the B.J. Green, I thought, ridiculous call where he has Herbert around his midsection, and he lands to the side of him, but he delivered such a forceful blow. Yeah, Herbert, sometimes the quarterback's going to hit the ground hard, right? He didn't land with his weight on him. So if Trayvon gets that sack and B.J. Green gets that one, which they were right there in position to do, that's 5 sacks on the day, which is kind of par for the course with what the Chargers are allowing. But didn't know if the Jags could turn it on because they had a very similar opportunity last week, and they couldn't take advantage of it.
Jaguars, blew that lead last week. It was an injured week of practice as well. The Jaguars had 5 offensive linemen on the injury report this week. 4 of those starters. One of those did not start at Anton Harrison. The rest of them did, including Robert Hainsey, Jaguars center, leading the way for a 192-yard rushing day for the Jaguars. He's with Bucky Brooks.
Hainsey, long week coming off the loss against Houston. What went into bouncing back from last week to have a better performance this week?
I think it's always going to come back to technique and fundamentals, especially on the offensive line. Just being there for each other, focusing and really honing in on the things we can do better, little things, and just continuing to try to push each other to meet that standard.
Last week, like coming off of that, you guys had to kind of stew in a loss that many of you guys probably felt like should have been wrapped up, a winnable game. How do you build upon those things in terms of like holding yourself accountable, but then making sure that we're going to have a better performance the next week?
Yeah, I think, Liam hit on it really well about just being ourselves. We don't have to do anything we're not meant to do. We don't have to be anyone but ourselves. But when we are at our best as individuals, we're at our best as a group, really leaning on each other and playing carefree, playing fast, having fun, playing the game for the reasons you play the game. And I felt like we did that today, coming off like last week, getting up in this game and really putting it away, keeping their foot on the gas, and that's really impressive to see from the group given the way things went last week.
Yeah, what was really impressive being in the locker room at halftime, it seemed like there was a huge emphasis on energy and finishing and those things. The coaches were very animated about that. Were you trying to take the lessons from, we faltered in the previous weeks in terms of second half, didn't finish it, but it seemed like there was a concerted effort to finish the game the right way?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone was even thinking about like how things went the last week. It was just we were feeling good, we were doing things the right way, and it's it's easy to have energy when you're up in halftime. It's going to be those times when you really got to turn it around that we're going to have to keep learning and keep getting better at. But today was a great example of being up, staying up, like I said, keeping our foot on the gas and finishing the game on our terms.
And thinking about that, last one before I let you go. I noticed that you guys went back to the identity, same thing that Liam had talked about the entire offseason, physicality, toughness, running the football, and those things. How good does it feel to dominate the game the way you guys dominated out there against a really good Chargers team?
It's unbelievable. As an offensive lineman, 47 carries for 192 yards, just imposing your will. That's what it's all about. So to do that with the group, having Cole step up in there for Anton, just Chuma coming in a ton to play jumbo. We got Wyatt and Jonah in the game at the end. I mean, everyone had a hand in it all throughout the week and got a chance to fucking put it on. Oh, sorry, got a chance to put it on film today.
That's all right.
But it was a blast, and I couldn't be happier for the entire group and the entire team.
It's okay if we get a little spicy. It was
always the Jags, man. It was always the Jags. Let's go.
Congrats on a great win. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you guys.
I think he's excited. Robert Hainsey, Jaguars center, part of that offensive line, getting it done today. 345 total yardage for the Jaguars, 192 on the ground, and what a response. The Jaguars now 6-4 with a 35-6 win. Back with more in a moment. That was the Everbank Vault. Bucky Brooks there. Everbank Advantage you. Make the most out of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars. Plenty ahead. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Rep Duval. Jags fans, introducing the Duval Fade, where safety means swagger. Crafted by a U.S. Navy submarine veteran, this isn't just safety gear, it's a statement built for fans who bring the heat. Whether you're grinding at work, hustling in the lab, or tailgating at the stadium, these frames are tough, light, and built to perform. Be prepared to rep Duval. Visit firstline-safety.store to grab your Duval Fade 2-pack now.
At G.E.H.A, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. We're not focused on Wall Street. We're focused on Main Street. So we've built dental plans with 100% coverage for in-network preventive care, with access to a nationwide network of nearly 600,000 provider locations. G.E.H.A is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
Jaguars postgame continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios, the Miller Electric Center after a Jaguars win. Final score, Jags 35, Chargers 6, all-around team victory today. The most complete game the Jags have played all season long. Pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor joining us in studio now with a big smile on his face. Hi, Fred.
Hey, man, you should know where the smile comes from. We ran it 47 times.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, reminds me of back in the day. I don't even know if we've run it that much when I played. That's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, they just out physical the Chargers, man. Like, this is Jekyll and Hyde. This team, pretty good team. You know, win by 29 today, up 19 in the fourth quarter a week ago. They did everything that their formula has required in the wins this year, which was run the ball, protect the quarterback, don't allow sacks, and get turnovers. That's been their formula to success. They were able to, produce that today, and they ended up beating a really good Chargers team.
No matter what happened last week, Fred, like if the Jags had won, they may have still won today. I don't think they have this level of dominant performance without the embarrassment, the letdown, the soul searching, whatever went on this week. And I'm not going to say that I'm happy that they lost last week, but I'm happy that they responded this way, and I think that they know now what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, I saw Tom Brady post something the other day, and I had been using it, and it actually applies perfectly to where this team needs to be in order to be successful. He said one of the indicators of success is how fast can you get back to baseline. My sports psychiatrist, Trevor Mowat, who passed away a couple years ago, in his book, he would say, how fast can you get back to neutral, right? No matter how big you win or how big you lose, how can you get back to neutral and sort of press reset and understand that along the way, this is the process and this is how it's going to be. You understand how to regulate the emotional roller coaster, right, and minimize that. So these guys got back to neutral pretty quick, it seems, and they got to find a way to stay there because it's still a long season. You're still in the thick of things, and as long as you continue to produce on this level, you'll be fine.
You got to give credit to Liam Cohen for that, too, really kind of leading the way on that.
100%, all of the coaches. I mean, because this is a team that didn't have a Jordan Lewis, didn't have a Brian Thomas, didn't have Anton Harrison. Mm-hmm. So you were out a few starters, and these guys that were able to go out there as backups, they were ready. They were able to make big plays today that contributed and led to this win. So across the board, the coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for having the guys prepared after a big loss. So shout out to them.
And this is, Fred, a Jaguars defense that had given up 33 points per game since week 7. I mean, they were giving it up and not really finding an answer in the pass rush game and searching for answers. And you mentioned it on the back end, the secondary has been decimated with injuries. Yep. They come in today and allow 6 points to the Chargers, who's one of the best offenses in football.
Yeah, and I think, again, the offense sort of returned the favor by allowing them to be on the sideline and get rest. Yeah. And they were fresh, and they had so many 3-and-outs. They just dominated. They attacked that line of scrimmage as they should have with the starters that the Chargers were missing. So they just dominated the line of scrimmage, man. Those guys up front, they really came to play.
Yeah, they won't even get credit for the full effect because, that B.J. Green penalty was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
That's a sack, and maybe it leads to points because now you've stopped them on fourth down. You have the ball near midfield, and you're going to go getting Cam Little at least a chance in his range. And, of course, the first play of the game, Trayvon had Herbert dead to rights, and he took it off the stat sheet with the intentional grounding. But I thought that was the tone-setting play for the whole day there, Fred. First snap, here's Trayvon. This is not going to be the same situation as we saw last week.
Yeah, Mike, I totally agree with that. A few other sacks. That roughing sack, the one there on Trey Lance at the very end.
Another one. How's that not a sack?
Because of the roughing the first time.
Right.
Now you're a bit cautious. You're a bit hesitant. And now Trey is a bit stronger, a little bit more athletic. He doesn't go down easily, so you miss a sack right there. But
you also had the one where he ran out of bounds. Gardeck didn't get credit for a sack on that, and usually they give that.
Yeah, those are sacks.
So, all that combined with what they did, the pass rush showed up in a big way.
Yep. Still part of the formula. Sacks, turnovers, and no sacks against. Yeah. So, running the ball.
All-around team victory today for the Jaguars to improve to 6-4. A 35-6 win over the L.A. Chargers. Back in a moment, standing by for the Jaguars head coach, Liam Cohen. He'll visit with Bucky Brooks coming up shortly. And this is Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get 1.99% APR for 36 months on a new 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. Offer valid through December 1st, 2025. Zero down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $28.64 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
It's a force that can't be contained. Propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it.
You make power plays.
Aim for fences. And go for end zones. You believe that your moment is now. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7.
If you've been injured, put our force to work for you. Jacksonville.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. And welcome back. It is Jaguars postgame. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor after Jaguars win over the L.A. Chargers 35-6. The final score. Jags improved to 6-4. Jags entered the day as the number 7 seed in the AFC playoffs. Now they hold tiebreakers over the Chiefs and the Chargers, and they have swept the AFC West this season. So the Jags, how about that? Yeah, eye-opening, right? Jaguars getting the job done against a very good division so far. They got one more to go, obviously, in Denver coming up. They didn't sweep them, so they got to go to Denver in December, but they've won the first 3, which is a fantastic beginning for the Jaguars here in 2025 against a very good division. But today, all about the defense, all about the running game, physicality is back, and about the bounce back of this Jaguars football team after a 19-point blown lead in the fourth quarter last week. How would they respond today? And we found the answer. Liam Cohen led the charge this week. The Jaguars head coach is standing by with Bucky Brooks. Bucky?
Coach, normally I always ask you for your thoughts, but I want to go back to last week in the locker room because it's interesting being in there and hearing you talk to the team. And I felt like this win started last week when you talked about we have to own it, take accountability, and then build. Can you kind of talk about the process of building the team up through the week to get them ready for Sunday?
Yeah, that's a good point. I do believe that it started kind of with the early in the week, the way that we kind of met it head on. We all addressed what occurred in Houston on Monday very honestly. And then again, kind of on Wednesday, we touched on it again in terms of not the L, but the response to the L. And not just the result of the L, but how it went down, right? And how we can meet that next time and face it and understand it, and how do we improve upon it, right? And look, we had a lot of one-on-one conversations with players during the week. We had multiple group and unit conversations during the week, about how we do that, specifically to individuals and also to units and groups and side of balls. And we made that very intentional. The guys, I think they knew that they don't want to feel that way again. Mm-hmm. And so we play our best when we're pissed off. And that's just a reality.
Yeah.
We've talked about edge for a long time, and we lacked an edge, obviously, in the fourth quarter against Houston. I just said to these guys, like, what would happen if we just play with that edge for 4 quarters and not worry about what the result is, what just happened, or what could happen next? Let's just live in the moment, stay in the moment, back each other. I got your back, you got mine, and let's go see what happens.
You know, it's interesting because I feel like you've been around a bunch of great coaches, but I think every coach is challenged at some point where you have to either double down in what you believe in, or you can kind of drift and be a tree wandering in the wind. It felt like today that you guys leaned right into everything that you talked about from an identity standpoint, toughness, physicality, run game, and those things.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to say, no, I'm going to lean into who we are and what we say we're going to be?
That's, so many – James and Tony and I spoke about – actually, we read a couple articles and throughout the week and talked about, like, in times of crisis or adversity, the last thing we can do is start to wander.
Yeah.
And start to try to come up with new things, right? New schedules, new ideas, new plays, new, right? The players feel that.
Yeah.
They know when you're starting to hit a panic button as a staff. And all we said was, like, look, guys, we're not going to just live here. We'll change up some things in terms of personnel or look at what's going to help us give us the best chance to be successful. But nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. If anything, we need to go back to our roots and what has gotten us to this point. And to win games in November in the NFL, you have to be able to run the ball and really just win the line of scrimmages.
Yeah.
I thought on both sides of the ball we won the line of scrimmage, and we've got to be able to do that as we continue to go through November into December.
It's never about the other team, but the Chargers are a good team to test yourself. You talk about the physicality, toughness, and those things. And so to run it 47 times, they have almost 200 yards rushing. What does that say about your offensive line? When you were playing a few different people in there, not all starters, you got some backups in the game.
Yeah.
Talk about your offensive line.
Yeah, really proud of those guys up front. We didn't even take a full speed snap on Wednesday as a unit offensively. And then really even on Thursday, we only got a few full speed run reps. So the whole goal was to just try to get those guys back, feeling better, coming off of obviously a couple, physical games. We're a little banged up. Anton out, Cole in. I know Cole. Every time we came off the grass today, Cole Van Lanten had a look in his eye that of domination, of wanting to continue to do what we were doing. Ezra, obviously getting him back was great for our offense. Hainsey leading the way with McCary and Walker. Chuma coming in, huge block on the pin and pull that we scored to ETN on the left side.
Yeah.
That group is our offensive identity. It is. It's it's them, and I want it to be them. And I think they took that personally today.
Another group that took it personally was the defense.
Yep.
Defense, 6 games, they've given up 20-plus points.
Yep.
Plus 30 in the last 2 of 3. 6 points.
Yeah.
And when you looked at it, you're playing with a bunch of backups in the back end and those things. Talk about a defensive effort today.
Yeah, huge. For them to have 8 first downs, 42 yards rushing, they're 3 of 12 on third down. That was 22 minutes of possession, obviously. And, it started from the beginning. Those guys were hunting early. I thought we were playing a little bit. We were playing more sound at the second and third levels of our zone coverages. And the front was effective for the most part of the day in terms of being able to get the ball out of his hands. I think we changed the picture on them a little bit, which was making him double clutch the ball. So really kudos to Camp and that staff and those players for taking it personally. They were pissed off as anybody was, right? To kind of have last week occur the way it did and then for them to respond the way they did. Very proud of Campy, the staff, and the group of guys playing.
Last thing, you talked about last week, you talked about the team having to learn how to win. And then we know in this league, man, the greatest reward for doing is the opportunity to do more. Yep. So now how do you get the team to build upon this but know more things, bigger games, all that's on the horizon, and you still got to prepare and even prepare at a higher level than you played today?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that Jordan Lewis and I have talked about a few times is like there's levels to this. And that's a comment and a term a lot of people use, but there's levels to an NFL season that you have to continue to build on. Like every week, it only gets harder and harder. People have more tape on you, right? You're only going to be more sore and banged up. And so your level of execution, preparation, the way you train, the way you take care of your body, the way that we practice, the way that we walk through, like all of those little things have to be more intentional as the season goes. Not, oh, well, we're here, we can do this now. Or we're in this position, now we can do that now. No, there's levels to this, and we need to continue to raise the level of our standards, of our preparation, for us to be able to continue to have success.
Well, man, we're looking forward to it. We got a big one next week on the road in Arizona.
Yeah, big one, guy. You know, it's obviously going on the road again to the West Coast. You know, we've obviously had some success in terms of the travel and the guys handling it the right way. But, yeah, it's a big challenge because it's the next one.
Shoot, man. Just can't wait to see it next week.
Thanks, Bucky. Appreciate it, man.
Head coach Liam Cohen with Bucky Brooks after a Jaguars win, 35-6, dominant effort all around from the Jaguars today. Plenty ahead. We'll have a response to that from Fred Taylor coming up. We'll get the Jaguars Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. A lot ahead, a lot to go through. And the Jaguars are now 6-4 after a big win over the Chargers. This is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
At G.E.H.A, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus, hearing and fitness discounts. At G.E.H.A, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business. It's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguar sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. You might know that Echo East Coast Transportation is the official transportation provider of the Jaguars. I've been a client of theirs for more than 30 years because they're from here and they're Jaguar fans too. So if you're looking for prearranged transportation from the simple to the complex, call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions box for your 15% Jaguars discount. And if you want to talk Jaguars, they can do that too.
Hey sports fans, CSX is delivering big wins. Every day, CSX is on the move, delivering the freight that keeps America on track. From raw materials to finished goods, we connect businesses and communities across the nation with safe, reliable rail transportation. Just like your favorite team, CSX is built on teamwork, precision, and a commitment to excellence. From moving freight efficiently to supporting local economies, CSX is always pulling for progress. CSX, we're pulling for America.
Hi, it's Sam Kavaris. Just like the best players to ever wear the Jaguars black and teal, Echo East Coast Transportation is reliable when it counts. As the team's official transportation provider, they've been getting the Jaguars players, staff, and executives where they need to be, safely and on time, for more than a decade, with the newest vehicles and professional drivers. Call them at 904-631-5466 or find them online at ectjax.com and use the code SAM in the special instructions for your 15% Jaguars discount.
Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. continues. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios of the Miller Electric Center after a Jaguars win, 35-6 over the L.A. Chargers. Today's game was delivered by CSX. And the Jaguars improved to a record of 6-4. How about, first of all, Fred, some reaction there to Liam Cohen, and he likes it when his team plays angry, sounds like.
Actually, he likes it when they play pissed off, JP, with a little edge, man. I think he was, spot on, actually. It was a mental test for these guys. They actually went out there and played, really well. Just to come back and show that sort of focus, double down on everything. This is what you want to see from your team. That's the sort of response you want, and I totally agree with him. I mean, they didn't allow any touchdowns, no sacks. Where's Logan Cook?
Right.
No punts today. And as physical as these guys played, we talk about the mental part of the game. They had one penalty. They had one penalty in this sort of physical type game. So, big shout out to those guys, man, for getting things back on track.
Yeah, back to fundamentals. That's what he talked about. And I think one of the things that stood out to me, Fred, was don't get too high, right? You didn't want to get too low. That couldn't crush your whole season. I mean, from the outside, we might have felt a certain way about it, but they couldn't afford to. The same token, they can't think that they have it figured out at this point. Whatever they did, the formula that they put this game plan together, they got to go through all those steps on a weekly basis to keep putting those out there.
Yeah, that, Mike, along with not forgetting who they are. He said, we're not going to try to change things right now. This is who we are. And, before the season, a lot of teams like to talk about culture. But what's your identity? That was sort of one of the bigger questions. Like, what is the Jaguars' identity going to be? Coach Cohen just reminded us, like, this is who we are. So a lot of ball left to go. You can't slip up and go out on the West Coast and let a team like Arizona, who's not playing great, they're missing a lot of starters as well. They're down right now versus the Niners. But, they're an NFL team. They can still beat you. So you can't slip up when you go out on the West Coast.
Josh Hines-Allen, part of a Jaguars defense that allowed only 6 points today. 4 tackles for Hines-Allen and a sack. He is now the Jaguars' all-time franchise sack leader for a career, and he's at the podium visiting with the media. We listen in live.
Playing next week? Arizona, good young team, I think, and go out there and play as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and play the same game plan we played today.
And Coach said you guys were pissed this week about last week's result. And he said it showed up in the team meeting. It showed up everywhere. Can you just take us through, what does that look like for you guys? And what we saw on the field, was that a result of how last week ended and being pissed all week?
I think that week needed an extra motivational, message from having a loss like that. But again, it's like, we're happy this week. How are we going to piss ourselves off? And I don't think that needs to be the motto. I think we need to take each week separately and have that same attention to details that each player then came out with this week to have. And I think that's where our focus needs to kind of remain. And if we tend to stay within that type of focus as a team, as individuals, we will continue to have the outcomes that we're having today.
Josh, on your left, overall flow of the game, you get them off the field, you're up 7-3, give the ball back to the offense, Trevor throws a bad pick. You guys, sudden change, plus territory. How critical was it for you guys to hold them to a field goal there and kind of slow the momentum down on their end?
I mean, it was massive. At the end of the day, man, it's just one of those games where, you go out there on the field as a defense and they can't piss a drop. And if we continue to hold them to field goals, obviously they're in kind of that fringe area. 2 first down gets them to, a good field goal range. So for us to continue to play, get them behind the sticks, keep them behind the sticks was great. And so for us as a defense, man, we just knew, the way the game was going, it wasn't going to score. And for us to keep making those big plays in critical moments, I think that was a critical moment because if they score, now it's 7-7 or I don't know what the score was. They take the lead. And now we're playing from behind. So it's always good when we play from a lead and continue that momentum and just play good team football.
Josh Hines-Allen, Jaguars defensive end with a sack today. Now the all-time franchise sack leader, 56 in his career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that sack is the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Everbank.com. We'll take a look at the Everbank stats check when we return. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it.
You make power plays.
Aim for fences. And go for end zones. You believe that your moment is now. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7.
If you've been injured, put our force to work for you. Jacksonville.
Welcome back. It is Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars win 35-6 over the L.A. Chargers. And time now for an Everbank stats check, and we take a look at the team statistics today. First of all, the Jaguars outgaining the Chargers 345 to 135. The Chargers in the second half only had 35 yards of total offense and no completions from Herbert in the second half. The rushing yardage, 192 on the ground today for the Jaguars, 42 rushing for the Chargers. Passing net yardage, 153 for the Jags, 93 for L.A. The Jaguars, 5 of 10 on third down in the game. The Chargers held to only 3 of 12 on third down. Listen to this one. Jaguars with 30 first downs to the Chargers 8 in the game. Penalties, 5 for 71 against L.A., only 1 for 5 yards against the Jaguars, the most penalized team in the NFL, the most accepted penalties coming into the week. 1 turnover for each side. Time of possession in favor of the Jags. They held the ball for over 13 minutes in the third quarter, and at the end of the day, they held it for 37 minutes, 55 seconds. Dominant performance on the ground today for the Jaguars, and the Jags defense getting the job done on the other side.
All right, let's talk about some fun individual numbers here. Trevor Lawrence, 14 of 22 on the day, 153 yards, a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown as well, threw 1 interception. Passer rating of 80.3. Justin Herbert on the other side was only 10 of 18 for 81 yards. All of that yardage came in the first half. He was intercepted once, did not throw a touchdown, sacked twice, and had a quarterback passer rating of 44 on the day. Herbert actually the leading rusher for the Chargers today with 21 yards on 3 carries. Kamani Vidal got knocked out of the game after 5 carries for 13 yards. Now, here's where it gets fun. Basil Tootin, 15 for 74 and a touchdown. Travis Etienne, 19 for 73 and 2 touchdowns. We mentioned that Trevor Lawrence had a rushing score. LaQuint Allen chipped in with 8 for 36, part of that 192-yard effort on the ground. Newly acquired Jacoby Myers, 5 catches for 64, led the way. Tim Patrick caught 3 for 20, including a TD from Trevor Lawrence. Keenan Allen led the way with 4 for 53 on the Chargers side, including that beautiful diving grab of a 30-yard aerial in the first half. Defensively for the Jags, sack for Josh Hines Allen becomes the Jaguars' career all-time leader. Eric Armstead had a sack in this game. Danny Strigo and Trayvon Walker split a sack, although Trayvon probably should have had 2, and B.J. Green should have had 1 as well. 1 interception in the game. Antonio Johnson had a beautiful 44-yard run back on that as well. Cam Little, not needed in the field goal game. Didn't get an attempt there. 5 of 5 on extra points, and a perfect day for Logan Cook. He never got off the sideline.
Except
that's the best day ever.
Except the whole extra points.
That's true.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a really good day. 47 rushing attempts today, Fred. 192 yards as a team. Tootin and Etienne really sharing the load. Tootin with the ankle issue at the end of the game. We'll check that moving ahead. But, boy, two-headed monster today.
Yeah, nothing better than that, man. Tootin looked like mojo out there today. He was downhill. I remember the 4th and 1. They actually had it stopped, but he was able to break 2 tackles and make the first down that actually led to a Travis Etienne touchdown. But, the 4.1 per carry is very impressive, I believe. In the long of 15, you would think that they would have had longer runs. But Tootin had a chance to have a long run.
Yeah,
he trip up right there.
Man.
I got to talk to him about that. Those are house calls, man. You got to make those happen.
Come on, Bayshore.
But good to see these guys sort of get back on track and allow the defense an opportunity to stay on the sideline and stay fresh.
Jaguars get the job done today. That is the Everbank Stats Check. And, yes, the Jaguars did score in the third quarter today. So that means you score free cheese curds courtesy of Culver's. Head to participating Culver's locations and use the code JAGSROAR for free curds with an online purchase. We'll pick a player of the game when we return. Big Jaguars win today to improve to a record of 6-4. And this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
At G.E.H.A, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. We're not focused on Wall Street. We're focused on Main Street. So we've built dental plans with 100% coverage for in-network preventive care with access to a nationwide network of nearly 600,000 provider locations. G.E.H.A is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
RingCentral will completely transform the way you work. It gives you built-in AI across all your business conversations. Your phone system has an AI receptionist that answers calls 24/7. Your video meetings have AI that takes notes instantly. Even your contact center has AI, so you can help customers faster. It all comes together in one reliable platform for effortless AI communications. See for yourself at ringcentral.com. RingCentral, voice of your business.
It's game on, Jaguars fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association. Benefits for federal employees and retirees. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor at the Hyundai Studios after a Jags win over the Chargers 35-6. The final, Jaguars dominant, nearly 200 yards on the ground rushing. And the Jags defense holding one of the better offenses in the league so far to only 6 points after giving up over 33 points per game since Week 7. That's all done. Jaguars get the job done today to improve to a record of 6-4. And it's time to pick a Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. And, gentlemen, we have options today. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Fred gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. Mike, what do you think?
I've been thinking about this since about halftime, or at least for the opportunity to do this today. I don't know if I've ever split my vote before, but I cannot separate Bajal Tutin and Travis Etienne today. I think they both are deserving. So if you want to split it, give them each a half, but I vote for them collectively. I thought Tutin was just eye-poppingly good at times today. Etienne got the 2 touchdowns, though. You can't overlook that. They combined for nearly 150 yards on the ground, 3 scores. I mean, you want to set the tone and be the kind of team that can physically outmatch your opponent. You want to run the ball down their throat. That's what they were able to do today with that duo, and I can't decide between them.
Okay, you're going to split your vote. I'm going to vote for the entire offensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars because they had 5 guys in the injury report this week, 4 starters. One of them didn't play, the right tackle, Anton Harrison. The left guard comes back and plays today, Ezra Cleveland. And they bring in the extra jumbo package a lot. We heard Robert Hainsey talking about that. And they got back to physical play up front. And that's what Liam Cohen wants the identity of this team to be on offense. It's the offensive line. They control the identity. And they did it today, 192 on the ground. So my vote, Fred, is the offensive line. And it's up to you, Fred.
Well, since we're voting for multiple people,
here we go.
I'm going to vote for the entire defense. And this is why. We saw the game last week, right? You give up 26 in the fourth quarter. They didn't give up nothing in the entire second half this week. A lot of pressure, a lot of flying around, got some turnovers, got back to where they had been in all the other wins. So if we can do it, if this is legal.
It is.
I want to give a big shout out in my vote to the entire defense because you guys played fantastic, and I hope and expect that you continue this trend throughout the course of the season.
So with that vote and a half that Fred gets, that means the Jaguars defense is the Jaguars Radio Network players, plural, of the game. And from the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today. And as we mentioned, the Chargers was 135 yards of total offense on the day, 100 of that in the first half. They didn't do much of anything. They didn't have the football for much of the third quarter, only about a minute and a half or so of the third quarter, and only 35 second-half yards for the Chargers offense in this one. So the Jaguars defense got the job done. Back with the UF Health injury report when we return after Jaguars win 35-6 over the Chargers. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
At G.E.H.A, we stand behind our members because we were founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus, hearing and fitness discounts. At G.E.H.A, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business. It's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Rep Duval. Jags fans, introducing the Duval Fade, where safety means swagger. Crafted by a U.S. Navy submarine veteran, this isn't just safety gear, it's a statement built for fans who bring the heat. Whether you're grinding at work, hustling in the lab, or tailgating at the stadium, these frames are tough, flight, and built to perform. Be prepared to rep Duval. Visit firstline-safety.store to grab your Duval Fade 2-pack now.
Hey sports fans, CSX is delivering big wins. Every day, CSX is on the move, delivering the freight that keeps America on track. From raw materials to finished goods, we connect businesses and communities across the nation with safe, reliable rail transportation. Just like your favorite team, CSX is built on teamwork, precision, and a commitment to excellence. From moving freight efficiently to supporting local economies, CSX is always pulling for progress. CSX, we're pulling for America.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During Renewal by Anderson's Black Friday sales event, buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 full years. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable all year round. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home design consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Jaguars postgame presented by G.E.H.A. continues. J.P. Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor from the Hyundai Studios after Jags win. 35-6 all-around team win today, and the most complete game I think the Jaguars have played all season long. Certainly on defense, 6 points allowed, and on the offensive side, 192 yards rushing. Not their high water mark. They went over 200 week one, but really good to get back to that identity offensively. And it's time now for the injury report presented by UF Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Few notables today. Newsome, the cornerback in the first quarter with an ankle issue. Trayvon Walker limped off in the second quarter but came back in, of course, as the day went along. Bashal Tutin, the ankle issue in the fourth quarter late after kind of was wrapped up and twisted backwards in one of those piles where he was running between the tackles. Those are the three that popped out today for the Jaguars, but they had a long list coming in, and, it's that time of year, Fred. And they've lost Travis Hunter for the season, but for the most part, from what we understand, everything else that's been on the injury report this week are not season-ending. So, in theory, in the next few weeks, you might have some guys coming back off that injury list that will be well-rested, a few weeks on here or there. So that could be a good sign moving ahead if guys get healthy.
Yeah, and that's always a key, man. I mean, because right now they're in the thick of things. We don't know how this thing is going to shape out as these weeks come. But it's a matter of making sure the guys that are available are prepared. And again, the coaching staff has done a great job of getting guys in and out of the lineup and making sure they're ready to play and that it's not that much fall off. The coaches have to, double their duty and make sure they continue to coach well. And the players got to also make sure that they're, that they're paying attention in these meetings, that they're ready to go when it's game time.
Yeah, look, you always want your guys out there, but the fact that Brian Thomas didn't play the last couple weeks allowed Jacoby Myers probably to get a few more looks and just, get a little bit more settled in this offense. And now I think you move forward. You're like, okay, second game in uniform. He led the team in receptions and yardage. And this guy's smart. We've heard that, Fred, that like his first walkthrough, he was going through every play that they had told him about. And you feel like he's almost fully integrated into this offense already.
Yeah, and he's only going to get more and more comfortable. And you can kind of sense that. I take that 3rd and 6, for example, the big conversion that he made there on the out route. Mm-hmm. That was dialed up for him to be at that position. And what stuck in my mind was he has the sure hands on the team right now. Parker's playing amazing, and he catches everything. But Jacoby, he catches everything. And to be able to be here only 2 weeks in, and then they design certain plays around you, that just speaks of, the type of pro and player that he is.
Back in a moment, we'll preview next week. The Jaguars head out west again to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Jaguars win today over the Chargers 35-6, improving to a record of 6-4, and it's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Jaguars postgame brought to you by G.E.H.A, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. Final moments with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor. I'm J.P. Shadrick. The Jaguars get the job done today, 35-6, the final score. And time now for the 50-50 raffle brought to you by Duval Ford. The estimated prize today, just under $14,000. The winning number, 523-086-59001. Thank you for playing and supporting the Jaguars Foundation, and good luck to you. The Jaguars now 6-4, and they are headed out west next week again, where they fared well this year out on the West Coast. But they're headed to Arizona, 4:05 Eastern kickoff time next week at State Farm Stadium as the Arizona Cardinals entertain the Jaguars, and the Cardinals currently in a game at home against San Francisco. 19-7, the 49ers lead the Cardinals. 11:30 to play in the second quarter. Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback these days, right now, at least for Arizona. They're missing some pieces. Wide receiver, Calais Campbell's on the team. So the Cardinals 3-6 going into today. What stands out the most about Arizona, Fred?
Oh, man.
I might have covered it already.
Yeah,
Some
I think
injuries.
you touched up on a lot of it, but they're not as bad as their record shows, man. Just looking at it, they've lost 2 games by 1 point, Niners and Titans. They've lost 2 by 4, Colts and Packers, and they lost 1 game by a field goal. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're not being blown out. So, again, NFL team, you got to be prepared. You got to stay ready. They are 1-3 at home. So they haven't really shown that home field advantage matters much for them. But Jacksonville can't go out there sleeping. They got to go out there ready to just crush them, and they got to go out there, like Coach Cohen said, and play pissed off again. They got to channel that sort of energy and come back home with a W.
What did Hines Allen say in the presser? Maybe we need to figure out a way to get pissed off every week, like have that a thing, and maybe not make that a thing, but you got to find some kind of way to do it because obviously it works, Mike.
Yeah, look, you just can't go out there now and think you got it figured out, right? You can't just as much as a lot of us, myself included, felt like the Chargers are going to come in here and maybe exert their will a little bit. I think it's going to flip. I think the court of public opinion is going to feel like the Jags now are back to where they should be, and they're going to do this to Arizona. If you show up and play your best football, I think you can handle the Cardinals. The thing that stands out to me, look, Kyler Murray not there. Jacoby Brissett's probably outplayed him in his time as a starter this year. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is a big one. And if they don't have Trey Benson back, it's a cast of, kind of journeyman running backs in that backfield. And I think the Jags defense, the one we saw today, can do a really good job on that offense without Marvin Harrison Jr. Even with him, they can win the football game. But if he doesn't come back next week, I think the Cardinals could struggle to move the ball.
After the win today, the Jaguars now 6-4, still the 7 seed in the AFC playoff picture. New England at 9-2 at 1, Indy 8-2 off this week at 2, Denver at 3 at 8-2 coming into the day, Pittsburgh 6-4, the 4 seed, Buffalo 7-3, the 5 seed, LA Chargers 7-4, the 6 seed even after today, and the Jaguars 6-4, and they have the tiebreaker over Kansas City, who's on the outside looking in, 5-4. Houston's out there though; they're 5-5 now after today, so still a long way to go. Jags trying to handle business next week. Fred, let's do it again, man. Let's keep it going.
I'm always ready. I'm always ready.
Did you play angry?
I was a nice guy out there. What do you think, JP?
I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you have to motivate, find something to make you mad, or was it just, hey, these guys are wearing the wrong shirt?
Yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to show up and just have fun, man. Just compete. It didn't take much for me to get upset. I was always ready to go, man. Talked to a former teammate today, and he reminded me of how unselfish of a teammate I was. It was Stacey Mack.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Freddie, I don't know. I don't know if there's another running back in the NFL that would break off a 50-yarder and look to the sideline and tell his backup to get out there so he can score a touchdown. Now I kind of look at those moments and I'm like, dang, why did I do that? Those touchdowns will help my Hall of Fame chances. What happened? Can we rewind
I
the
feel
clock?
like we've had this conversation with you over the years, and this was more like there may have been an occasion when you did that. I feel like this is more of a Tom Coughlin thing back in the day, because your numbers would be a lot better without the presence of Stacey Mack.
And maybe, see how it goes full circle, maybe if I had played a bit more pissed off,
who knows?
I would have stayed out there. I would have gave TC that look. Like, Coach, I ain't coming out.
You got to call a timeout to get me off this field.
Correct. Right. Now, who's pissed off?
TC.
Fred, great stuff, Fred, as always. We'll talk to you this week, man.
Looking forward to it.
Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars, running back. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll break down this game even further. Jaguars win 35-6. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, our entire crew, this is J.P. Shadrick saying good night on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks will take your calls about today's game and take a look at the rest of the league. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farrah and Farrah, Whataburger, the University of Florida, and by Everbank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Scoreboard! I was trying to time it up with you. I didn't mean to jump you there.
Jaguars win 35-6. The most complete effort the Jaguars have put together here in 2025 on a day where there were a lot of question marks coming in after last week's performance. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton in with us now for the Scoreboard Show, and so much to get to here. Jaguars defense, dominant performance today. Jaguars offense, dominant in the trenches today, running the football, just under 200 yards on the ground. Tootin and ETN sharing the wealth. And there you have it. The Jags, Brian, are now 6-4.
Listen, and that they did it without so many key contributors on both sides of the ball. When we heard that Brian Thomas Jr. was out, even though he hasn't had a great season, it's like, In addition to Brenton Strange, in addition to obviously Travis Hunter, who we learned this week would not be coming back this season, without Anton Harrison. I mean, it lined up to be a tough day. Turned out to be a tough day for the Chargers. They got their ass kicked.
Yeah, right from the opening snap.
Yep.
The first snap of the game, and Freddie and I were talking about it, JP as well, that Trayvon Walker to set the tone for this defense. You want to see some pass rush? Here you go. First play, force an intentional grounding penalty. And it's crazy that you look at Herbert on the day accounting for a combined 102 yards on the ground and passing, and he was the leading passer and rusher for that team.
Pulled with 11 minutes to play in the game. 4 offensive snaps. We always used to talk, Mike, and I know you had this conversation too, about the best way to beat the Colts and Peyton Manning was to keep him on the sideline.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the field at all in the second half. Pulled. It was a remarkable moment when Trey Lance walked in there. It was Harbaugh running up the white flag saying, we've had enough.
No question.
Jaguars held the ball for 13 minutes, 6 seconds in the third quarter.
That's good.
2 offensive yards allowed, 35 in the second half in complete garbage time. Oof. And listen, when you run the ball 47 times, and this Chargers defense, they're not slouches. It's a good defense, a top 10 unit, and yet they could do nothing today. Nothing. And that's without Anton Harrison. By the way, congratulations to the offensive line after giving up 20 sacks in the previous 4 games.
2 hits.
And no sacks.
No sacks.
It was amazing.
No sacks. Ran the ball for nearly 200.
Great.
They had 5 guys on the injury report this week. 4 starters.
And we talked last week in the postgame show like, hey, this week coming up for Liam, if you guys remember the conversation, really important week. And I think we will look back at this game at some point and say, that's when this became his team, right? When they played his way, despite top 3 corners being down, playing without Eric Murray, even though he's been gone for a couple of weeks. Harrison, top 3 receivers, best tight end, still went out. That was a team that had won 3 in a row. That had already been to Florida and won, right?
4 out of 5. I mean, they were hot.
7 of 3. The quarterback's an MVP candidate, and you shut his butt down. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Austin Way did make a good point, though, in the pregame about, yes, they won against Miami. Like, they didn't blow anybody out. They underperformed when they came east. They underperformed against Tennessee, against the Giants, and against the Dolphins. But today, I think it was imposed by the Jaguars on them. I don't think they just showed up and didn't have a good day. I mean, that pass rush was there. The running game was there. Those 2 aspects the Chargers couldn't deal with.
When was the last time that they did that to a really good football? They did it to the Texans at the end of the 22 season, when they needed to cement the playoff spot. But I can't recall. They did it to the Texans in 2017. It was the last 29-plus point win, Mike. But I can't remember the last time they lined up against a team that was favored, that was a good team, and just beat them all over the place.
Well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, we can go back over time and find some dominant performances when you expected the Jags to be dominant or to be the better team. Today, we came in with a lot of questions about this team, and for them to answer them that way, I mean, to win by 29 points.
Entirely unexpected.
Beautiful.
But completely appreciated.
Yeah, we'll take it. Certainly. Jaguars now 6-4, still the 7 seed in the AFC playoff picture as we speak, and tiebreakers now against the Chargers, who are just a half game ahead of them, haven't had their bye yet, and Kansas City 5-4. The Jags have won the first 3 of the 4 legs against the AFC West as well, with the Denver Broncos to come later in December. Plenty ahead. We'll break it all down after Jaguars win 35-6. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, are you ready to beat the heat? All season long, head to Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach, Fleming Island, and the West Side to cheer on your Jags. And here's the game-changing play. Order the Beat the Heat Special, which includes 12 of the best wings in town, and score a free milkshake or ice-cold milk in the Jaguars souvenir cup. Thanks to our friends at Florida Dairy Farmers. Fuel up, cool down, and celebrate your Jaguars with Mr. Chubby's Wings and Florida Dairy Farmers, the ultimate game day team.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Frank Franzi here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in 1996? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle & Sons Fencing. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. That's 904-356-4821. Or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E, Jacks.com. Coyle & Sons, keeping your business and home safe for nearly a century.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During Renewal by Anderson's Black Friday sales event, buy now and pay nothing until 2027. That's 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 full years. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills while keeping your home comfortable all year round. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home design consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Hey, sports fans, CSX is delivering big wins. Every day, CSX is on the move, delivering the freight that keeps America on track. From raw materials to finished goods, we connect businesses and communities across the nation with safe, reliable rail transportation. Just like your favorite team, CSX is built on teamwork, precision, and a commitment to excellence. From moving freight efficiently to supporting local economies, CSX is always pulling for progress. CSX, we're pulling for America.
Empty backfield on 1st and goal from the 1.
Quarterback draws a possibility.
That's what it looks like, isn't it? It's just going to be a quarterback power right up the middle. Touchdown. Trevor Lawrence just lowered his shoulder and pulled into the end zone. He was almost untouched. A 1-yard touchdown run, and Jacksonville has extended the lead.
Frank Franzi, Jeff Lageman, the call of the game presented by Coyle Fence. Since 1927, they've been around the block and fenced it too. And that Trevor Lawrence 1-yard rushing score. And the extra point made it 21-6 to begin the second half. 11 play drives, 7 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock. Really kind of put the Jaguars, it was out of reach actually at that point going into the drive anyway, the way it turned out. But that really kind of set the tone for the second half of what was to come for the Jags. They got the job done today. 35-6 the final score. Welcome back to Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton at the Hyundai Studios. And, let's dig into this defense a little bit more today. I mean, they collapsed last week in the fourth quarter. They heard about it all week long. I'm sure they heard about it on Monday from the head coach.
I was told he was quite animated.
Everybody in that defensive meeting room as well. And they stood up to the challenge today and got the job done and got pressure on the quarterback and made plays and got off the field all day.
I loved Josh's record-setting sack. If you go back and watch that, Josh was just barely on his feet getting off the block and ran into Herbert and then just pulled him to the ground. To me, that showed his desire, not to have the sack record, although I'm sure he's glad he has it, but the desire coming out of a week like this, Mike. I mean, in the locker room this week, he was short. He just wasn't himself. He was clearly pissed off. And I thought that sack said, I am not quitting. I am not giving up on this play. And it fit him this week.
I'm glad he was ticked. I mean, he needed to be, right? He rightfully got a lot of criticism for his lack of performance last week and the entire pass rush. And, so when we talked about it this week, it's a similar circumstance with the Chargers. Can this team take advantage? Well, I thought one thing, Liam Cohen said, we're not going to change what we do. But they did change personnel in regards to Emmanuel Ogbah, not active today, and those two young guys. B.J. Green should have had a full sack.
Yep.
Danny Strigo had a half sack.
And he had
today.
a couple of pass rushes that were terrific.
And that's where you're going to have to find it because help's not coming in from any other source. You've got your two main guys And if these guys can provide a little push and as they get more comfortable now getting deeper into this season, then maybe we can start to get that rush generated a little bit more.
Don't forget about Dennis Gardeck, too. 3 tackles
Gardeck,
today,
absolutely.
tackle for loss, putting him up on the line a little bit as well. So
listen, and they had to have it from the front this week because you were down at one point. You were down. Again, Travis Hunter didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lewis didn't play. You lost Greg
Murray.
Newsome,
Yeah.
right?
In the
Murray
game.
is on IR.
Yep.
I mean, their secondary was pieced together. And credit, I mean, Jarian Jones has played good football the last 2 weeks. And Christian Braswell, who's been around here on and off the practice squad, came in and played pretty good football too. I mean, it really is a credit to a lot of guys who stood up and played good football when their team needed them.
And as we talked about on the previous show, most of these injuries, at least from our understanding, are not season-ending. So, in theory, they're going to start getting these guys back in waves as the weeks go along here.
You'd love to have Brenton Strange back this week.
Oh, boy.
Would have loved to have had
192
him
yards
back this week, but yes.
192 yards
turned out.
without him. If I had said
Crazy.
the Jaguars are going to run 47 times for 192 and Brenton Strange is inactive again, you'd be like, Brian,
Well, I told you.
fell and hit your head on the way in,
on
didn't
Jaguars Today on Friday, I picked Brenton Strange as the X factor returning to this game, and maybe he gives us something we've been lacking for the last month. And they had what they've been lacking in terms of just that down in, down out, start to finish physicality and that. Just, that kind of play.
That you could win without him today and without Brian Thomas and give them each another week to get healthier if that happens in an NFL season. But to get more ready, JP, I think is it's a real benefit.
Absolutely. No doubt about it today. Foye Oluokun led the way. I mean, remember, there weren't many chances for the Jags. I mean, there weren't a lot of plays for the Jags defense today because they weren't on the field a lot in the third quarter. So the leading tacklers today, Oluokun and Wingard, each had 5 tackles in the game. 2 passes defense for Foye in the game today to lead the way. And then Hines Allen, 4 tackles, the sack, and a pass defense as well.
And Dewey, who has not played great football the last month, had a couple of plays. He had a pass that he deflected. There was a tackle on a tight end short of the sticks where you felt him in a positive way for the first time in a couple of weeks. So he stepped up. He's a guy that they're counting on. However they can get it from him, they got it from him today.
It's another thing. When they did put the Chargers in bad down and distance, those little screen passes on third down didn't turn into first downs. They didn't turn into a broken tackle or two that picked up 15 yards. They gained a few yards, but the Jags had room to play with, and they were coming up and making those stops short of the sticks.
Is this Trayvon Walker's turning point off the hand, a wrist injury?
Hope so.
It seemed like today was a big step for him.
It was good that he came back into the game. I know he was questionable to return with the knee, and it didn't appear to slow him down. I thought you said it right. I mean, for Trayvon to start the game with that angry play, because I heard he was as angry as anyone this week. And for him and Josh to come out and lead the way. And then I can't say enough. Danny Strigo had 2 pass rushes on back-to-back plays. One of them, Herbert escaped and threw the long pass at the end of the half to Keenan Allen that didn't turn out to be anything. But it set up B.J. Green's hit on him. But those 2 guys, you felt them a little bit today. And I think Strigo's a really nice, interesting player. He came off the edge hard today.
Great to see. Jaguars defense getting the job done. We'll return and dig back into this rushing performance. They spread the wealth with the running backs today. We'll take a look at what they did on the ground game today, nearly 200 yards, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies, based in Jacksonville, has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Catch epic showdowns in Cincinnati and Denver. Turn up the heat in Phoenix and Las Vegas. Support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjacks.com. Whether you stick with the play call or you need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. Book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjacks.com.
Huddle up, MyGate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Ever see someone walking with a weighted pack around Jacksonville? That's rucking, with an R, moving with weight on your back. It builds strength, endurance, and crushes calories. After my wife and I served post 9/11, we started Go Ruck, a family business rooted in service and community, proud to call Jack's home. Go Ruck, built in Jacksonville, rucking everywhere in the world. Check out our gear at GoRuck.com. That's GORUCK.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Donate blood and save lives on the Big Red Bus at the annual Tealgate Blood Drive, November 22nd at Daly's Place. Blood donors score a free Jags home game ticket. And for more, visit oneblood.org/Jaguars. Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Brian Sexton from the Hyundai Studios. Got a question on X from somebody. Brian, you're the senior correspondent.
Yes, sir. I have the most gray hair.
The question is, have the Jaguars ever had a no punt, no field goal game like today?
Man, I'd have to do some research on that. I don't recall a game like that. I think I would remember if they had one. There's been some no punt games in Jaguars history.
Yeah.
But a no punt, no field goal, I can't recall one. I think maybe that's a first.
Man.
Yeah, I saw that question too. I didn't know where to begin to look.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe something in 1997, but
right. They had some of those blowouts, but you're like, they probably kicked the field goal and one of those drives.
It's sort of an esoteric, combination. I love the no punt though. You look at the possessions. I was looking at this just a moment ago when we were in the break. You look at the possessions for the Chargers: punt, field goal, punt, field goal, punt, interception, downs. Jaguars, downs, touchdown, interception, touchdown, end of half, touchdown, touchdown. Downs, end of game.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Dominant.
And you look at those 3 drives, guys. 11 for 60 plays that took 7 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
16 for 76 plays that took 9 minutes and 18 seconds. No wonder Harbaugh ran up the white flag. Hey, look, we can't stop you. I'm not going to let my quarterback get killed today. Come on out of there.
Well, the Jags, after getting beat 35-7, have scored 30, 29, and 35 the last 3 weeks. And it hasn't all just been straight offense. But, however you're getting them, that's putting up 100 points in 3 weeks. That's pretty good.
Get a couple of those key guys back and see if they can settle in a little bit and get into a rhythm. See if Bretton Strange doesn't help the quarterback. And by the way, I think we should point out, I thought the quarterback was really throwing the ball crazy in the first half. On the interception, he put the ball short. There were some balls where I wrote in my notebook, "Let her rip?" ? I think I wrote that about 3 times. And then in the second half, he came out and threaded the needle a couple of times to Jacoby Myers.
A couple of those
and he
throws.
just went, oh,
yeah,
he's dialed it in.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Trevor. If he's figured that out in the second half, hopefully he can keep that going.
I give a lot of credit to the protection in the second half because there were a couple of instances where he converted third downs across the middle of the field where I don't think that was the primary look, and he had time to turn his head and come back late in the play and find that guy. But in the first half, the fourth down throw over Jacoby Myers' head was one of them.
Yep.
The interception was another one. The throw to Parker Washington that they got the pass interference
that
on was
a
another
questionable one too.
Like, what are we doing
The one to
here?
Quentin Morris, he was being chased out of the pocket, but still, you kind of think just a little bit more to the inside. I'm not a quarterback, so I won't even pretend that I could make that throw. But you just look at that and go, where are you? And then to come out in the second half. And by the way, did you see how many times Khalil Mack went and lined up over Cole Van Lanen thinking, I'm going to feast today? And Cole Van Lanen did a hell of a job. He really did. For a guy like Mack, who's not young, but a very crafty guy, and a guy like Van Lanen, who hasn't started a lot of games, I thought Van Lanen justified the faith that this coaching staff has had in him, and the previous coaching staff, too. They've talked about him being a guy they can really count on. Today they did.
Max played well this year.
Yeah.
He has. It's not like, he's older. He's not having a 15-sack type season, but he has definitely been effective.
Yep.
It's the fourth time this year the Jaguars have gone over 150 rushing yards. Week 1, they went for 200 on the nose. They went for 151 at San Francisco. They went for 151 at Las Vegas. And today the Jaguars put together a fantastic performance on the ground of 192 rushing yards. Bashal Tutin was getting the bulk of the carries there, it felt like. 15 carries for the day, 74 yards, and a touchdown rushing, an ankle injury. And then Travis Etienne really kind of stepped up at the end again as well. 19 carries, 73 yards, 2 rushing scores for Etienne, the fifth-year running back. LaQuinn Allen had some time later in the game, 8 for 36 for him today. But, I mean, this is certainly a two-headed backfield now with Tutin and Etienne going at it. You throw in Allen occasionally, and you got something special going on.
I was really grateful to see Tutin get back into the game. Because I don't know whether you saw, I think it was Denzel Perryman that was on the ground. He has his arms wrapped around his legs, so he was planting him in the ground, and then I forget who came over the top. Maybe it was Derwin James, and just bent him over backwards. And all I could think about is, how come they don't get a flag for that? Right? I mean, that was as big of a personal foul as B.J. Green, who put his head to the side.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
I get
never
it.
going to call that.
No, I get it. But you get my point. Is they protect the quarterbacks, they're not protecting the runner.
No, I get it.
That guy was planted in the ground, and I thought, man, that could be a serious injury. Luckily, it wasn't.
I'll honestly tell you, it felt to me, watching the first quarter, like, are we looking at the backfield going to Bashal Tutin, like becoming the lead
Running
back
hard,
on this
yeah.
team? And had he not had that issue, I don't know if he got back in the game. I know he got he did because I know he got his helmet back on, and he was standing on the sideline, and Jeff and Frank talked about he was ready to go at that point, but I don't know if they put him back in.
I'll have to go look. I thought he did.
But regardless, I mean, it just, like, early on, like, Etienne got a couple of touches early, and then it was like, all right, here's Tutin, and he is, again, he's just popping off the screen today with that power and that burst that he's got. One of these days, he's going to evade that last tackler and house it from long distance, man.
Keep his balance, yeah.
And no fear between the tackles at all. I mean,
no.
running it up in there.
No, he'll say, if a guy's in front of him, he's like, all right, he'll kind of size him up, and I can't get around this guy. Well, I'm going to get 1 or 2 yards going right through him, and he does,
Great to see. By the way, Travis Etienne, 6th career game with multiple rushing touchdowns. So 2 in the game today. And
6 on the season,
yeah. He's this is a really good performance and a contract year for him too, by the way.
Yeah, I just, can you imagine them finding a way to pay him?
I can imagine it, but
maybe franchise. Maybe put the franchise tag on him, because he has become a really important player on the offense, especially with the guys who are all hurt.
He has. I just don't think it's generally good business to pay your running backs.
It is not good business for that.
Upper crust elite of the league, and you drafted 2 of them.
But listen, that's why I say if he has 15 touchdowns, maybe, but anything less.
I can't write it off. I don't. I'm not James Gladstone. I don't have anything to say over it, but I still would be surprised if that happens if he's back. But let's worry about that after the Jags
Hoist the Lombardi.
Oh, yeah, after the Super Bowl parade. The Jaguars.
And there I was crazy suggesting a running back get a personal foul. Yeah.
The Jaguars broadcast booth is presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company. Plenty more ahead after a Jaguars win over the Chargers, 35-6. The final, Jags now 6-4, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games. When you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport, catch epic showdowns in Cincinnati and Denver. Turn up the heat in Phoenix and Las Vegas. Support your Jaguars in divisional clashes in Houston, Nashville, and Indianapolis. View real-time parking, security, and flight updates on flyjacks.com. Whether you stick with the play call or you need an audible, they'll be your teammate every step of the way. Book your nonstop flights today. Learn more at flyjacks.com.
My husband, Steve, was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They only gave him months to live. That was years ago. Now, he's out there, under the tree. Nature photography is his thing. And apparently, so is catching poison ivy.
Oof, so itchy. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Hey, Jaguar fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Join the thousands of Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Stadium on game day. That's JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jags. Passes start at $10 on the MyJTA mobile app. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. Game Day Express is one way the JTA is working to create a better connected Northeast Florida. Visit JTAFLA.com for more details.
New job, new city, new you. Find your fresh start at Point Grand Apartments in Jacksonville and Brunswick. Step into a brand new 2-bedroom apartment with open layouts, sleek finishes, and space to make it your own. Enjoy resort-style pools with cabanas, 24-hour fitness centers, and pet-friendly perks that make every day easier. Live close to work, the coast, and everything you love without the stress. With 8 great locations and endless possibilities, your fresh start begins at pointgrand.com. That's pointgrand.com. Start fresh today.
Johnstone Supply Wholesale provides HVAC contractors with Amana air conditioners, heat pumps, and furnaces homeowners trust. Built to be reliable, quiet, and energy efficient to provide indoor heating and cooling comfort year-round. Don't settle for less. Trust the experts. To find the right system for your home, locate an Amana Advantage specialist near you at johnstoneamana.com. That's johnstoneamana.com. Jaguars fans, are you ready to beat the heat? All season long, head to Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach, Fleming Island, and the West Side to cheer on your Jags. And here's the game-changing play. Order the Beat the Heat Special, which includes 12 of the best wings in town, and score a free milkshake or ice-cold milk in the Jaguars Souvenir Cup. Thanks to our friends at Florida Dairy Farmers. Fuel up, cool down, and celebrate your Jaguars with Mr. Chubby's Wings and Florida Dairy Farmers, the ultimate game day team.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Jaguars win it over the Chargers 35-6, and welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Brian Sexton. And yes, the Jaguars scored in the third quarter today. Brian, you know what that means?
Cheese curds.
Free cheese curds, courtesy of Culver's. Head to participating Culver's locations and use the code JAGSROAR for free curds with an online purchase.
Wow.
Excited for that.
Can't go. Can't wait to go.
You can go. And
I'm
you
not a
will
cheese.
go.
Listen, I've tried cheese curds. I'm not a cheese curd guy, but for all of you out there who love them, congratulations. Culver's is making your cheese curd dreams come true.
Well, thank the Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence, who ran in for the touchdown in the third quarter to make it happen.
I wonder if he likes cheese curds.
It doesn't look like he likes these cheese curds. I don't know. A little different body types than us in here. It's a Scoreboard Show, and the Jaguars get the job done. And I mean, I think we've kind of glossed over the big theme of this. The bounce back ability of this team.
Yeah.
They did it after the Rams game when they had the bye week and had to think about it all week long. Then they went to Vegas in a really tight football game, found a way to win. Wasn't the prettiest, but they got the job done and bounced back with a win after a tough loss. And then it's about as tough a loss as you're going to have last week in Houston, blowing a 19-point lead. Had to chew on that all week long, and then they come out against a really good football team and blow their doors off today. That tells you a lot about what's going on inside this building led by Liam Cohen.
It's interesting. This week I heard a lot of, well, what do they expect? Most of the teams back from last year, and, you've got faulty DNA, and you can't expect these guys to become competitors. Well, I thought they turned over a lot of the roster this offseason. You can't turn over the whole thing, and you can get better. You can change. You can improve. The Jags have now won 6 games in a season after they won 4 the whole year.
Just because you didn't doesn't mean you can't.
That's right.
Right? Joe Cullen said that to me in, I forget, 2012, his first stint here. And the truth is that despite the fact that we looked at a team that had major deficiencies coming off of last week with all of those injuries, just because they didn't play well in the fourth quarter last week didn't mean they couldn't put 4 full quarters together today. And they bore that out. Tremendous effort. I got to say this again. JP, you and I sat in a meeting in the spring that we were invited into where the head coach talked about his philosophy with a lot of his coaching staff, with a lot of the football staff. Tony Baselli put it together. Mm-hmm. And I furiously took notes that day. I was so impressed with the way that his philosophies were put together. And I knew last week that this week would be on him. When they lost, I knew he would be ready for it because we always knew there was going to be a game like that this year, the kind that makes you sick to your stomach. And I just had a confidence in him based on, rereading my notes from that meeting in the spring. So I'm not surprised that he had him ready to play. Am I surprised that he had him ready to play like that? That they played like that? Yeah, I am. I wouldn't have told you that. I thought it was going to come down to a fourth quarter field goal attempt. It didn't even come close to that.
No. Not at all.
You realize the Jaguars, they led 7-6 and then ran off 28 points on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Wow.
Dominant.
Dominant.
Against a really good team.
And dominant in all phases.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
By the way, the punter didn't punt today, but the kicker put the ball right to the goal line. So instead of giving them the 35 a couple of times, how about the last one that he pinned the ball over in the corner and the guy had to take it?
Right.
He ran all the way across the field to the 28-yard line, and you could just see the sideline is like, I mean, the kicker kicked the ball well. The coverage teams were outstanding today. I mean, this team was ready to play.
Team win. And as much as Liam Cohen has that ability to inspire and get guys ready, you don't know because it's still your guys, and no matter what, the next man up mentality.
Yeah,
it works to a degree,
right?
But the first man up is the first man up for a reason.
Yep.
And when you're down as many guys as they were today at some key positions, to think that they would come out and play like this was shocking to me, actually.
JP, the belief level in this team right now, and the belief level they have in their coach and his staff, has got to be at a incredible level. I mean, now you got to go and play well in Arizona. That is not a team that is playing well. They're getting beat today. They're on a backup quarterback. We've all seen Jacoby Brissett. Probably an upgrade from Kyler Murray in terms of efficiency. Jaguars should be able to go out there and win, but you got to come back in with the same, dare I say, level of anger this week.
Fred Taylor talked about this in the previous show, that he had heard this from Tom Brady some time ago about getting it back to neutral the day after a game.
Yeah.
Very high today after the win, but hey, come back down to center. And last week they were at the low end of the spectrum. Yeah. Get it back to center and start over again, and that's the challenge this week again.
Well, you can't we said this last week, you can't let the Texans beat you twice, meaning put you in a position where you're just not ready to play. Well, you can't let beating the Chargers like you did create a situation where you're vulnerable. You're a better team than them. Go west and do it, young man.
We're talking about a lot of the Liam Cohen, and the general feel going into this game and coming out of it. But, I mean, let's heap some credit on Anthony Campanelli and the defensive staff as well. And, yes, the players going to execute. That's the number one thing. They went out and played their tails off today against a really good team. But they were all up against it. Campanelli could feel it in his press conference this week that, they're giving up 33 points a game since week 7. That's not sustainable. And they proved that they could come out and do it today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a even split between who was being blamed more for the collapse last week.
Yeah.
Defense, offense. Well, it's an even split today. Which side was more impressive? And equally impressive, I would think, would be the right answer.
Look, give a little credit. I thought Devon Hamilton really ate up a lot of space. I thought that Foye Oluokun, who to me looked slow last week, did not this week. I mean, he led the way tackling, and he was in every single gap. The guys that you don't normally talk about came through. I mean, you look at this. Justin Herbert was their leading rusher with 3 scrambles for 21 yards.
That's right.
They averaged 2.6 yards per carry, and they only ran it 16 times.
Yeah, now, to be fair, their back went out, who was already...
Yeah, but Vidal had a big week last week against the Steelers.
I get it. I'm saying he, though, is pretty good.
Yeah.
But you've lost Hampton. You've lost Najee Harris. You put Hassan Haskins on IR this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're way down.
They're scraping the bottom of the running back barrel.
But last week, the Jaguars gave up 130 rushing yards, something like that. And this week, to Nick Chubb, right? And Woody Marks.
Woody Marks, yeah.
Right.
Chubb did rip off like 9 yards of carry. He just didn't get as many touches.
Carries, right.
Yeah.
I thought the Jaguars' run defense was really good today.
It was.
And it helps when you have a big lead and they can't run.
That's what it is. That was the whole design. Stop the run, get after the quarterback.
Run the ball, stop the run. Check and check.
I think they got the job done today. We're back in a moment. Our final thoughts ahead of the Jaguars-Cardinals matchup next week. Jaguars in Week 12 head to Arizona, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Jags fans, this season make your game day even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium, and then you can enjoy even more with the Al's Pizza Pickoff promo after the game. When the Jaguars get 2 interceptions in one game, you'll score 50% off one pizza, any size you want, for 48 hours after the game. Just tell them you want the Jags Pick promo when you order. Up your game and your pizza with Al's at the stadium or any of their 5 locations.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Jags fans, this season make your game day even tastier with Al's Pizza in the stadium, and then you can enjoy even more with the Al's Pizza Pickoff promo after the game. When the Jaguars get 2 interceptions in one game, you'll score 50% off one pizza, any size you want, for 48 hours after the game. Just tell them you want the Jags Pick promo when you order. Up your game and your pizza with Al's at the stadium or any of their 5 locations.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Rep Duval. Jags fans, introducing the Duval Fade, where safety means swagger. Crafted by a U.S. Navy submarine veteran, this isn't just safety gear, it's a statement built for fans who bring the heat. Whether you're grinding at work, hustling in the lab, or tailgating at the stadium, these frames are tough, light, and built to perform. Be prepared to rep Duval. Visit firstline-safety.store to grab your Duval Fade 2-pack now.
Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. It is the Scoreboard Show final moments. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton after a dominant Jaguars win, 35-6. Jags now 6-4, 7 seed in the AFC playoff race. And they have tiebreakers now against the Chiefs and the Chargers, who are certainly both still in that playoff race. And they've got work to do still, certainly with all these games to go and important games coming up. But those are good, two good feathers to have in your cap.
Yeah, I thought the Titans might give them a hand and push the Texans down, right?
Yeah,
they
right.
lost on a last-second field goal there. But the Jaguars, if they just take care of business, are in a really nice spot to be able to make a run towards the wild card. And depending on what happens with Indianapolis, because they have 2 games left, maybe there is some reach there. Doesn't seem likely, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe not, but you take them 1 week at a time and see where you are when Indy comes up on the schedule. But I think at this point, it's pretty clear. You have to sweep Tennessee and you have to beat the Jets.
Yes.
Right? But if you do that, that's 9 wins right there. Go get Arizona next week.
You bet.
Go get another game that is not going to be a layup, or I'm not saying any of these are necessarily layups, but if you play your style of football versus what they've shown, you're going to win a lot of those games that we just mentioned. So, you know, I mean, it's crazy how the mood is going to swing this week. I still would have preferred the win to come against the Texans in the division, but having the head-to-head tiebreaker is a nice consolation prize as well.
You bet. Against a really good team.
Yeah.
Against a really good team. People go, well, how could they be really good? The Chargers are a good team.
Right, because if you beat the Texans, you're like, all right, we held on, we beat the Texans. They almost came back and beat us, and then the Chargers beat you this week.
Right.
Well, but who'd you beat?
At the Chargers,
Davis Mills and all that. But
Right. I mean, the Chargers are going to compete for that AFC West. I mean, they're going to be in that
Without
mix.
a doubt.
They've swept the division so far. They've beaten everybody in their division.
Yep.
3-0. 3-0 in the AFC West, 6-2 now in the conference after the Jaguars beat them today. The second loss for them in the AFC this year. The Jaguars, a 35-6 winner. Fifth quarter is next. They're chomping at the bit, I hear, to talk about this game.
Can't wait.
That's the word on the street.
It is.
All right. I didn't know if you were what you were looking for there.
Chomping being
Jaguars today,
C-H-A-M-P,
tomorrow.
right?
Yeah, like a
You got to
horse.
spell it right.
Like a horse on a bit. Yeah.
Not chomp, chomp.
Yeah, that.
It's actually champing.
Champing, yes.
Chomping is now acceptable according to the dictionary.
Thank you.
Because it's become so popular.
Thank you, grammar lovers.
Thanks to J.P. Shadrick.
You got Jags today, tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Victory Monday. David Garrard will be back, and Tony Smith will join me.
Jags AM tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. live, and of course, you can find it on the Jaguars YouTube channel.
And we'll have happy hour 4 to 6. Pete Prisco, Austin Lane. We'll recap this one as well. Mike Dempsey, Brian Sexton, I'm J.P. Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew here and at the stadium. And thanks to you for listening to the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.